You said something to me that made me think that something happened, something changed.
Yeah.
It was no longer about what can be accomplished, but more so about who you personally can become.
Yeah.
And it seems like your mission now is to help people become something else.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, did something happen over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I made a whole lot of money, man. That's what happened. Just be 100% honest. Jim Carrey said this, right? Jim Carrey once said, I wish everybody reaches every single goal that they have so they can realize that none of that matters.
Come on.
I made more money than I ever thought I would ever make in 1 year. I thought that was the missing piece, right? Because happily married, I have a great business. And so I said, wow, I need to make millions of dollars, right? Because if I make millions of dollars, I don't know. I just thought something would change. That happened for me. And it actually made me depressed. I had an expectation. I was running a race and I'm running and I'm like, oh, I see the red tape and I run through the red tape. I thought it was going to be confetti. I thought there was going to be, you know what I'm trying to say? I thought there was going to be the crowd. I thought it was going to be something. And there's more pressure being successful than kind of flying under the radar.
That's a fact.
I simplified things and I'm learning, right? I'm learning how to use my platform to make other people money. And that's why I say, look, tap into the source. Because the source was like, nah, Ash, abundance is your birthright. I ain't giving you access yet because everything ain't right. That's not what's happening with AI though.
Okay.
I'm not asking AI to give me the content. I'm giving AI the content and I'm saying make it sound better. Right?
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. This guy needs no introduction. Well, he might need an introduction because a couple of people that don't know who he is. However, if you've been following the Social Proof Podcast, for sure one of the top 5 interviews that we've done. The numbers say it. I'm not just saying it because I think it's cool, but he's so decorated, done so much in the space. One of my favorite podcasters for sure, and just like one of my favorite people. You know what I mean, in the game. You know what I mean? So we got Mr. Ash Cash in the building. What's the word?
What's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. I tell you this behind the scenes. Every time I get an opportunity, I thank you for what you do, for your gift. You know, one of the reasons that I am able to, excel at the level that I do because I watch what you do, and I take notes. I do it my way, of course, but I watch you. You're one of the people. When I first started Inside the Vault, you were one of the people that I watched religiously and was like, all right, I like the way he asked that question and, kind of like get into people's business without it looking like you're getting into their business. So, hats off, brother.
No, tell me more.
I go in, man. But they call you, right? They call you the Oprah of podcasting.
For sure.
And Oprah had this thing where, it's her curiosity, the way she asks questions. And you just have a way of disarming people, right? Because what happens is people like to talk about themselves, but they like to talk about themselves in the way that they want to talk about themselves. Yeah. And sometimes there's truths that they like to omit about themselves. And your way of questioning and your style of podcasting disarms them. And so now they feel like, they're talking to a friend, right? And then now they'll tell you stuff that they would tell a friend without the cameras and then be like, oh, I'm on camera. Take that out. Delete it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a gift. Not everybody can do that, right? Because when you think about this skill that it takes to actually be a podcaster and have these type of conversations, there's 2 responsibilities, right? You have a responsibility to your audience to make sure you're giving them the raw. And then you also have a responsibility for the person that you've brought on there to kind of help them paint themselves in the best light while being truthful to your audience, right? So that's why you want to make sure, you vet everybody that you bring on. But once you're sitting with them, there's going to be times where you're like, wait, hold on. The math not mathing, right? And so people don't realize that in the midst of a conversation, you're going to have to learn how to pivot really quickly to cater to both, right? All right, so the audience is going to need this person's going to need this. Yeah. And there's this quick thing that happens that people don't give us credit for, and you do it masterfully. Like, I watch, I be like, oh.
I appreciate the more claps, man. I appreciate that. Man, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. There's a lot we got to talk about because you've been involved in so much. I've been able to see your elevation. It's been amazing. But one thing, okay, we'll start here. Yeah. The last maybe 2 conversations ago that I've had with you, it seemed like something changed.
Yeah.
And obviously you talk about money mindset, obviously the story of the banker and as an author. And you said something to me that made me think that something happened, something changed. Yeah. Because it was no longer about what can be accomplished, but more so about who you personally can become. Yeah. And it seems like your mission now is to help people become something else. Yeah. And I was wondering, like, did something happen over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I made a whole lot of money, man. That's what happened. just be 100% honest. Jim Carrey said this, right? Jim Carrey once said, I wish everybody reaches every single goal that they have so they could realize that none of that matters.
Come on.
I made more money than I ever thought I would ever make in 1 year. And I thought that was the missing piece, right? Because happily married, I got kids, I have a great business. Like I've always made money. So like after I left the bank, like I started as an entrepreneur, like I've made money, right?
Making money is relative.
Yeah, it's relative. That's true. That's true. Right. So I've always been a 6-figure earner. Let's say that, right? Yeah. So I've been a 6-figure earner for over a decade. Let's say that, right? Gotcha. And so I've always, been comfortable, not comfortable, but I've lived a good life, right? And so for me, I was like, what else is there, right? Like I live an excellent life. And so I said, wow, I need to make millions of dollars, right? Because if I make millions of dollars, I don't know. I just thought something would change. Yeah. That happened for me. And it actually made me depressed. Like it made me feel bad.
Why?
Because I had an expectation, right? Like I expected, I was running a race, and I'm looking back and I'm running and I'm like, oh, I see the red tape, and I run through the red tape, and I just think that I don't know. I thought it was gonna be confetti. I thought there was gonna be, what I'm trying to say? I thought there was gonna be the crowd. I thought it was gonna be something. And there's more pressure being successful than kind of flying under the radar.
That's a fact.
And so it didn't enhance my life. Mm. It almost made it worse now, right? Because
almost made it worse.
Yeah, because now there is expectation, right? So now I'm not competing against anybody, right? I'm competing against me. So now I have to be better than what I did before, right? So that's the number one. Number two, now there's levels of expectation, because even if I don't, I'm from Harlem, like I'm from the streets, so I'm not running around telling people this stuff. But every conversation I'm having, like, yo, I heard you, like, so that the word's going around. So now I'm part of a conversation. I wasn't part of a conversation. I was running low. Like I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I was good though. You know what I'm saying? I was big, bank account good. I'm good. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you ever see American Gangster? Mm-hmm. Frank Lucas didn't have no issues until he wore the mink.
That's a fact.
Right? He wore the mink and he sat in the front row. Other than that, he was good.
He was chilling.
So that was my Frank Lucas moment. I was like, man, like, so now everybody, so now conversations are different, right? So now you got the people who are not genuine. Y'all knew I existed. Yeah. Now I'm on your radar, right? So now there's these fake conversations happening. There's these expectations. There's the you got it tax now, right? So when I ask for services, people are like,
the you got it tax.
They was going, the you got it tax. So there was just a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? And then you have this balance of again, changing my life, right? Because I am a very private person. I don't talk about what money I got. I talk about how I can help you. But now, because you hit these thresholds, people want to celebrate you. Yeah. So now, and then you look at it, all right, do I accept this celebration, right? Because if I accept the celebration, this could be marketing to make more money, or, right? So there's like this juggle. So now I get a ClickFunnels award, Two Comma Club, Myron Gold, I get a $5 million day award, I get a shield. So I get all of these things. And now it's almost like publicizing, this guy really made a lot of money in a short period of time. And then you're in your own head though too. Yeah. The paranoia starts to hit, right? The paranoia starts to hit where it's like, wow, like there's still expenses, there's still stuff. So, there's still money that needs to go back out to continue to make money and all this other stuff. And so now I start thinking about my street days, and I'm like, the wolves don't understand business. Yeah. All they know is, this guy got M's. And so now the paranoia starts to hit, right? Now, again, I'm married, so now I'm thinking about my wife. Now I got kids that, they go to private school, but they still are out and about. So now I'm thinking about them. So it didn't, there wasn't this sense of like, I made it. Now there's this, enhanced, feeling of, damn, what do I do now? Like all this pressure coming in at one time.
I've been trying to, you've articulated that beautifully. What's going on, family? Listen, I need you to stop what you're doing right now. There's two people listening to this. Somebody who wants to build a YouTube channel and make money off of their personality and their brand and their likeness. And there's also another group of people who want to do the same thing, but they don't want to use their face. David Omari has been teaching people how to build a faceless YouTube brand that makes money. You don't have to be in the videos. You don't got to use your face. You don't got to use your voice, nothing. But there are specific strategies to grow your YouTube channel, and he's been teaching people across the country. So listen, now is the time to get started. He's running a 5-day challenge. I need you to go to ytachallenge.com/social proof. There's a link below, but ytachallenge.com/social proof. Go now. Because most people you're just not going to understand it until you're in that position.
100%.
And there's somebody listening like, oh, well, when I get it, this and this is going to happen. And then you only hear successful people say things like, yo, it's not all about the money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So from somebody else's perspective who doesn't have it, it's like, you're only saying that because you got money. Right. But
100%.
You spent your whole life going to get it, and now you're successful. Now you're trying to act like it ain't important. But
and this is what I would tell people though, right? Is don't chase the number for the number. If you speak to an entrepreneur right now, I bet you everybody's like, I want to be a billionaire. Why? Like, why you want to be a billionaire? Yeah. You don't know what you're gonna do with $1 billion. Yeah. Your dream is probably not big enough for $1 billion. Mm-hmm. So why do you want to be a billionaire? Or, I want to make multi-millions. Why? Right? So what I would say, and this is the lesson that I learned, is to make up in your mind, what does your ideal lifestyle look like? And have that number and focus on that number. Yeah.
And that number's going to be wrong.
Yeah.
By the time you get it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought $600,000?
Yeah.
Oh, we want to buy a Lambo.
Yes.
Right. I thought $100,000, I'll be traveling, things of that nature. But then you get it, and it's like, whoa, well, this doesn't feel like enough. And then the next obvious number is $500,000, $1 million, and you make $1 million. And one, yes, like you said, the you got it tax.
Yep.
But also, Joe Biden wants his money.
Facts, 100%.
Biden wants his money.
Absolutely.
Whoever's in office, they want their money.
Facts.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And on top of that, and expenses and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, dang, I thought making $1 million would make me a millionaire.
Yep.
I don't feel like a millionaire right now.
No, 100%. Yes, sir.
This is tough, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
This is tough. So, okay, you realize that, but there's a shift happening. So explain the shift.
Yeah, so the one thing that I realized was none of that matters. What mattered is my source, right?
Some of it matters. It matters.
So here's what I mean by
I can't say it doesn't matter.
No, but here's what I mean by that. I mean that when I am focused on this number, right? Let's say I'm focusing on making $1 million or making millions, whatever, and I'm focused on that. I reach this goal that I set out for myself, and then now I feel empty, right? So what I realized was that I wasn't focusing on the source, which is myself, God, my higher power, whatever you believe in, and that if I attach my goals to what my source wants for me, what I want for myself, there is no level of emptiness, right? Because now everything is in God's will. And so now there's this level of, all right, I've reached this level. All right, God, what do you want for me now? All right. And that changes things because our thoughts, like, we're limited. Like, we don't know, like, there's so much that God wants David Shands to do. David Shands don't even know it though. He think he do, right? He think he do. He's sitting here. He like, oh, I know what it is, right? But he don't even know yet. What's gonna happen is, again, you're gonna reach this milestone. You're gonna say, yo, you know what? I want to open the Creators Clubhouse, and this was your biggest dream. You open the Creators Clubhouse, and God said, nah, bigger. So you say, oh man, I'm gonna do 15,000 square feet. So now that's the new vision. And then when you do that, God's gonna be like, oh, you know what? I want you to do Creator Club's house throughout the country. I want you to open one in Africa. So what I'm saying is, when you get beside yourself, when you stop thinking that you know it all, that everything ends with what you want for your life, because it's not your life, right?
100%.
God gave you this gift, and the gift is not yours, right? Like, you are an Amazon driver, and somebody placed the order using Amazon Prime, and they want their package, and you gotta deliver the package. You don't own that package because it's in your possession. You think it's in your possession and you own it. You don't own that package. Somebody ordered the package and they waiting for it, right? And so you gotta be obedient like an Amazon driver and deliver the package like it said you should, and then you'll get another order. And then you pick up that order from the warehouse, and then you deliver that package. And that's what I realized, right? I realized that I was so focused on what I wanted for my life when it wasn't even mine. And so this thought, like, abundance is your birthright. Like, this thought process kept blaring in my head that you can have anything you desire as long as it's aligned with the desires of your source.
But I guess that would be a challenge to figure out. You know what I mean? So my personal belief is that I don't think God really cares if I'm a podcaster or a Amazon driver or working at McDonald's, right? There's the things that I do on this earth will only be here for a short period of time. Yeah. Right. So I don't believe that what I do in terms of like building wealth or what I do, I like it. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. But I think the objective is to be happy. Yeah. And I guess it changes based on like the belief or, the God that you believe in. Yeah. Yeah. But it would be really, really challenging to find out what it is you're supposed to be doing though. Mm-hmm. So for somebody that is here, like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. What's your answer?
Yeah. So here's what I would say though, is that you can only do and have what you are, right? And so what most people don't do is they don't figure out who they are first. And so because they don't know who they are, they're doing opposite of who they are, and that's why they're not happy.
Let me back up. Who are you?
So I am inspiration and I am motivation. So anything I do, I'm going to inspire and motivate. Okay. Right? Which means that it doesn't matter, right? When I go to the gym, I'm gonna inspire somebody. I'm gonna motivate them somehow. When I'm on a podcast, I'm going to inspire and motivate somebody, right? When I go to my kids' PTA meeting, like that's who I am, right? And so what happens is I become that, and that's why anything I wind up doing is gonna flourish as long as it's aligned with that, right? Okay. I'm not gonna be successful if I was if I did gossip, right? Because I'm not motivating, I'm tearing people down. Think about this, right? You are still a server.
For sure.
You worked at the Cheesecake Factory as a server, and now Social Proof Podcast does what?
Serve.
Right. And so when you think about who you are, you've never changed though. You could go back to when you sold t-shirts and books, you were serving. And so that's what you do now. And whatever you do, because that's who you are though. Right? And so my point is the people who may listen and say, I don't know what God wants me to do. God, right? What Jay-Z said, you could try to change, but that's just the top layer. Fam, you was who you was when you got here. Yeah. Right? So God made you, like, there was an assignment, though. God said, Dave, you are this. Ash, you are this. And so based on who I am, now anything I do, it has to be aligned. It has to be an alignment, right? So people always talk about like vibrational alignment. Yeah. That's what alignment is. Alignment is just being, true to your being. Yeah. And so people need to focus on, like, we focus on the doing too much because we watch television, we watch all of these gurus telling us do. Nobody's telling us to be. And the moment that we take a step back and just ask yourself that question though, who am I? Who am I? Why was I put on this earth? What do I like in my being? If I had all the money in the world, who would I be?
Let's go a layer deep.
Yeah.
Deeper. I am a server, and I feel like all that I do is serve. Yeah. And in different capacities, right? But the ability to earn in what you're doing can get or in who you've become. Mm-hmm. We still got to attack the ability to earn, because some people are closely aligning their activity or who they are with the fruits of the labor.
Yeah.
So how do we deal with that dilemma?
Yeah. So
that dynamic.
So there becomes this space in which you now start to put yourself in alignment with the coaches, with the mentors, with the people who have the level of success that you desire, right? So as inspiration and motivation, I still have to now put myself in position, right? So whether that is listening to podcasts, whether that is watching documentaries, whether that's reading books, whether that is joining masterminds, whether that's paying for a coach, that is me getting in alignment with who I am. So once I know who I am, it doesn't just automatically come to me. There's still work that needs to be done. There's still, so like even when I was a 6-figure earner, I started to put myself around 7 and 8-figure earners because there was something, right? I was still serving, right? I was still inspiration. I was still motivation, but there was something that they knew that I just did not know. 100%. And so now I'm in their space, and then now I'm learning, all right, do this different. Okay, do that different, right? Because think about it from a podcast perspective, right? I did radio for years. I've been on magazines. I've touched millions of people prior to this podcast wave. Yeah. What happens though? It shift. I was in magazines. I've done all of that, right? But it shifted. It shifted to podcasting. And so what happens? Shans is making a lot of money in podcasts. EYL's making a lot of money in podcasts. All these different people who have learned how to monetize the gift. I said, I got a gift too. Mm-hmm. So you know what? Let me get into the game. I don't interview like you interview. We have different styles. Yeah. But I learned from you. I learned how is Dave monetizing his podcast? How is EYL doing this? Oh, I bet. So I talk to y'all give me the game, and then I implement the Ash Cash way, and then now I become a 7-figure podcaster.
For sure.
Right?
I don't even know if you want to go like too deep, and I'll leave it up to you, only because I know the scenario.
Yeah.
I think I know the scenario. I don't know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But you were closely aligned with someone, and one day I look up and you're not aligned with the person anymore.
Yeah.
And you want to share what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to that. So, you know, I'll give you this example. Tyler Perry says this, right? He talked about when you look at a rocket ship, right? And a rocket ship is going to its highest height. There are things that are going to fall off, that have to fall off while the rocket ship is going to that height. Yeah. Because number one, a couple of things. Number one is that the way the rocket is made, at this bottom level, it needs all of these things to help it get to its highest height. But once it gets to that height, those things need to fall off, or it's never going to reach that height, right? And it's a matter of that happening where there was a vision in the beginning where, all right, this is the vision, this is where we're looking to go. And as we're going in that direction, there's a lot of work. There's things that are being put into the situation to help it reach its highest height, right? Mm-hmm. But then when we get to that height, not everybody's ready for that level, right? Some people are gonna suffocate because the atmosphere is just too much for them, right? And so that's what wound up happening. We're up here, like everything that we said we were gonna do, so we're up at this level, at this height, and people are suffocating, like they can't breathe. They're like, oh my God, this altitude. Like I've never been this high up. I've never been in this altitude, and then now the altitude is suffocating them, and so I could keep them in this altitude, and they're going to die, literally though, too, in this particular case. Because I'm enabling behaviors, if you will.
You are enabling behaviors.
Yeah, meaning that, if why would you take a crackhead to a crack house?
I mean,
right? Right, you see New Jack City, and I'm not insinuating drugs or nothing like that, but I'm saying you see New Jack City.
Yeah.
Pookie said, I'm good. And then they take him undercover. He goes into a crack house, and then now he relapses and he's like going crazy, and then he becomes his own demise, right? And so when you know this, but when you get to a certain level, there's a lot that comes with it, right?
Explain.
There's attention, there's women, there's it's just it's like being a rapper, it's like being an entertainer. You have access, right, to all of these places, right? VIP, all of this stuff. And it is a lifestyle that if you're not fully grounded, right? So I've been married for over 15 years. I've, been with my wife, 20 years.
Congratulations.
I have, priorities, if you will, as it relates to why I do this. I don't do this for the shine. I'm not doing this for a spotlight. I'm not doing this so I could, for my sense of importance, if you will. It's really because I believe that I have a gift and I can help people maximize their full potential, live their best life. Again, it's like when you start to give access to other people who also don't have as much to lose than you do, right? So if you're the brand and somebody is walking around with a social proof shirt, right? And everybody knows that social proof is David Shands. And somebody else is walking with a social proof shirt and they're not representing themselves. And it's not good or bad, but they're not representing themselves the way David Shands would represent himself.
So are you saying They weren't representing the brand well.
No, not at all. They weren't representing the brand well, and what they did in their personal life started to transcend to me, right? Because people made assumptions, right? People made assumptions that, we represented each other, right? And people made that assumption. And so there were opportunities that I didn't get because people felt like they had to go through certain channels in order for me to get those opportunities. And I didn't hear about them till afterwards.
Dang.
Right? So I didn't hear about the opportunities till afterwards. Things were, people said yes and no to things that they really didn't have the right to say yes or no to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I realized that, and just to be 100% honest, there also becomes this space where you try to be nice in business, where you can't be nice. You have to, business is business. And you have to do what's in the best interest of your business. And you cannot promote someone, right, from good to great. Jim Collins talks about this. Are the people that you have, do you have the right seats on the bus? Right? And so if you don't have the right seats on the bus, if people aren't sitting in their right spot, then it's not going to work. And what wound up happening, there was a lot of decision-making power that was given without it being like it wasn't proven. It was just, we come in together, so now everything is equal. Yeah. We all make the same decisions. We all make this. But at the end of the day, there's a bigger vision, and then that's the other thing too, is that now the vision. So when you get that high up, the vision changes, right? So now when you've have made more money in a short period of time that you've ever made, now you're looking like I want this to keep going. But now the quality of what got you there starts to diminish. Yeah. And so, there was a period, and I could point it out, but there was a period where there was a downturn almost.
Of what?
Of my brand. Of the podcast, of my brand, where I had to regroup. I had to get quiet. I don't think
I've seen a period of it. It seemed like you've been on a upward.
Yeah.
Trajectory for
I it looks that way, but it wasn't. There was a period of skyrocketing high, and then, it's shaking.
It got shaky.
It got shaky, right? It got shaky, and then I had to get rid of those things. And when I got rid of those things, so here's the funny thing, is that it's like a bow and arrow, right? Is that the bow and arrow, right? Sometimes you got to pull the bow so far back, right? It's shaky. Yeah. You got to pull it back. And then when you let it go, though, the ferocity. So that period happened. Things are being shaky. Then I connect with Storm and Marvin, and we do a challenge together, and we make $9 million.
Whoa.
So that becomes this whole, I get to this level, it's starting to be shaky. God said I got it from here, yay, damn. And then it goes up. So I think that the lesson for me, and there's no hard feelings, but the lesson for me is season, reason, lifetime, right? People are gonna come into your life for a season, for a reason, and a lifetime. I thank God for it all. Given the opportunity, I would do it the same way, because the lessons that I learned, the man I've become.
Did y'all have like any paperwork agreement?
Yeah. So the great thing about building your own brand and owning your own brand is that when you are the value, there really isn't anything anybody could do to take your value away from you unless you give it to them.
Right, but I'm saying like if there's like an agreement, and the only reason and not even because hopefully nobody like just identifies the person because it wasn't like you were like saying, hey, this is the guy, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, this is like me a personal question. I was wondering, was there like some sort of agreement like, yo, we are going to do this podcast together.
Yeah.
There are certain percentages that are allocated. This is certain ownership.
Yeah.
And then when things break up, how do we handle that?
Yeah.
So I'm asking, did y'all have that?
Yeah. So we did. So what happened was, when we started, when we started the podcast, we started it. It was actually, we were all, it was three of us. We started it together, right? See, look, let me just tell y'all. You see what he just did, right? I'm just gonna point it out. Right? Because now, right, I was so general in the beginning that nobody would know what I was talking about. You get what I'm saying? And so now he just made me so comfortable that I'm about to tell y'all my whole legal structure. I'm about to give y'all my whole legal structure.
Yeah, he was so politically correct. He said, well, sometimes when the rocket goes up,
look, I was general. I was a politician. I was like, yo, all right, let me, because this is what I'm trying to say, right? In my head, I'm like, all right, nobody gonna figure this thing out. You know what I'm trying to say? But then he's like, oh, well, you started this part. I was like,
I just want to help people, man.
I said, man. I said, so since the cat is out of the bag,
okay, right? We're here now.
Since we're here, but I just want to point that out. It's a skill, right? Because you disarm me. You know what I'm trying to say. So when we started the podcast, it was three of us, right? Mm-hmm. We started the podcast. It was three of us, and it was the idea that we collectively came together with the idea of the podcast, and we kind of split ownership. Three ways, right? In the beginning, there started to be turmoil anyway because there was a difference in vision, right? And so, two of us wanted to continue in this podcast lane because we're like, yo, the podcast, there's money in podcasts. And then there was another, the third partner who wanted to focus on television. Like, so that's why when you look at the show in the beginning, it was focused, it was shot like a television show because that was the goal. The goal was like, yo, we're going to get a television deal. And that was what we were focusing on. And so early on, there was like turmoil where the visions didn't align. And so
the other person just walked away.
Yeah, other person just walked away.
There wasn't a whole lot of money in the beginning.
Nah,
so
yeah. Other person walked away. It was like, I'm cool.
Did you have to redo the whole contract?
Yeah, so technically we still had the same contract, right? So we still had the same contract. Third partner was still in, in the LLC. We created a new company, so they were still a partner in the company. But we just continued because we wasn't making no money. Yeah. So we just continued to like build the platform, if you will. And then so it was just us two kind of building that platform. And then so one of the things that I didn't mention is that because, our show is not trademarked. There's other shows out there called Inside the Vault, right? So if you go to Apple right now, you look at Inside the Vault, there's other shows called Inside the Vault, right? Really? The power of my show is that, what is it called?
Ash Cash.
It's called Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, right? Yeah. So guess what? Ash Cash Ash Cash Enterprises owns the trademark though for Ash Cash, right? And so while we're contractually bound through the LLC, there is no intellectual property for real under the name without the approval of Ash Cash Enterprises.
Gotcha.
And so that was the legal loophole, if you will, that allowed the separation from both partners without having to like rebrand the show or get rid of it. Gotcha. And that's why you notice though that there's a shift in the look of the show, right? Legally, because I didn't want to hold on to anything that we came up with together.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so legally, it's a new show because the idea, how we started, what we're doing, like none of that is the same. It's different now.
Gotcha.
And again, Ash Cash Enterprises owns the name to Ash Cash. Gotcha. So now we can still use Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, but now, Ash Cash Enterprises is licensing the name to that podcast.
I see. So out of the 3, 1 dipped, you got 2.
Yep.
Then it's you and the second person.
Yeah.
Y'all rocking.
Yeah.
So even when let's say like little money starts coming in, you get some ads, let's say it's $1,000.
Yeah.
Do you still got to break up that $1,000 amongst 3 people?
No, right? So what wound up happening is because we were shooting the show like a television show, there was a lot of expenses.
Yeah.
And so we were coming out of pocket. So so when a third partner leaves, now you got 2 partners who are now coming out of pocket to fund the show. Mm-hmm. So as money is coming in, we're just recouping the money that we have to put in.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
And so little money's coming in, but it's not a profit. It's still there's still like arrears. You know what I'm saying? And so by the time me and the second partner split, money was still, coming in, but now we're still in arrears, right? We're still in arrears because
but that second partner kept putting money in too, though.
Not really, no.
No?
Yeah, so I funded most of it, which is which is why
you probably still just handle that agreement part though.
What is it?
Because even that first partner, I mean, this joint blows up.
Yeah,
you might have a case.
Yeah, potentially, but
you might as well just pay them all. Just give them a couple dollars.
Here's the thing though, is that again, in consulting my attorney, right? There is no case, right? Gotcha. Because again, the power of the show still lies on the host.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was a lot.
Yeah.
And I had no idea.
Right. But here's the lesson in that. Here's the lesson in that, right? The lesson in that is a couple of things. Is number one, and again, no knock to any of the 2, but when you are going into business with people, please understand the value that you bring in this partnership, right? Because, and this is a blanket statement, never give equity to anybody that could be work for hire.
Never give equity to anybody who could be work for hire.
Yeah. So here's what I mean by that. Is if I could hire, right? If I could hire a team to do videography for me, then why give my videographer equity in this podcast if that's the only thing they're going to do?
Well, here's why.
Tell me.
Here will be my perspective.
Yeah.
When someone owns something, they take care of it like it's their own.
Yeah.
And that might be the missing piece.
Yeah.
Right? You give somebody a paycheck, they're going to do a job.
Yeah.
Right? But if someone owns it, there's just another level of like going hard to take care of it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that through just an employee who's not super vested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a great
point. So
point.
this is why I always I think let me just make sure I'm not lying. Everyone that has worked with me for any extended period of time, I've created or proposed some opportunity for them to partner with me on something.
And did you give them the equity first, or did they prove themselves?
Well, you got to prove yourself for sure.
So yeah.
And like, might not take. I've had multiple conversations with Reese. Like we didn't create something yet, but it's on the table. Yo, let's create this.
Yeah.
Like if you come up with an idea, let's do that because I know when you own something, you'll go hard.
Yeah.
And if you're going hard at it, and I'm going hard at it, it's not 1 + 1 = 2 anymore. Yeah. It's like 1 + 1 = 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. So backtracking what I said, just to clarify what I said or what I meant was, if you and Reese have the idea, right, for this thing, and you can hire him to do it, why would you come in 50-50 partners off rip for something that you can hire?
I see. Well, if it's both your idea, then it makes sense. But if it's your idea, if you have the idea, and you're saying, yo, we about to do this podcast, we're going to do this and this and this. How much do you want? That makes sense. And then maybe throughout time, you say, yo, this person's going hard.
Yeah.
Let's create a scenario.
And so that's what happened, right? So meaning, and this was the lesson that I want people to understand is, I had the idea, right? And I needed people to pull in to help me execute the idea, right? Yeah. But ultimately, the bulk of it's my idea. You know, I'm the talent. I'm the connector. Yeah. Right? Like, how do we even get on the network? Like, was it? Nobody had that was me. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? So I have the idea. I have the connections to blow the idea to the next level.
And you're the talent.
I'm the talent.
And he's already lit.
And I already, right, had
been lit for a long time.
So I already had a platform. I allowed, I got into a partnership in where I forgot who I was. Right? And so now I'm equally distribute equity where I have the most to lose. I'm putting in the most, and simply though, right? And there's no disrespect, but the truth is those two positions, what they added to the table, I hire for it now.
Right. Yeah. I think however, if I were to talk to them too, they would say it was a little more than their work. You feel me? Like, from their perspective, there's going to be like, yo, it was this one idea that I came up with that created, and they'd be right. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I mean, I would beg to differ. I mean, I'm sure that there would be, I'm sure that there would be stretches of trying to figure that piece out. But I think that ultimately, when you think about, the reasons why it didn't work was because, again, work for hire type of commitment, and then also still like so here's the thing, right? And this is the other thing is that this was all I had, right? Meaning, like, this is me, this is my brand, I'm putting all on the line. One of them had a 9-to-5, and no, not to nobody having a 9-to-5, but I'm a full-time entrepreneur. One had a 9-to-5 and said that they could do these things to monetize the brand, but never did those things, right? Because they were focused on their 9-to-5. So every single day they earn a 9-to-5, and they still getting equity money, though, right?
I see.
Other person is putting in a little more work, right? But they have other clients too. So I'm not their focus. But me, I wake up, I live, breathe, like, this is me. If anything falters with it, nobody knows them. Nobody's like, oh my God, what happened? No, they're like, you know what I'm trying to say? Nobody knows their equity partner.
Cash fell off.
Ass cash fell off.
Yeah.
And so again, I had the most to lose and I had the most to give, though. How is that? How am I giving the most? And so the math wasn't mathing. It didn't make sense, That's and real. So once, I revamped things and I simplified it, though, right? Because you got to think about it. Like, because the way we were shooting the show, man, before we start making money, I'm $100,000 in. I'm talking about before I even made money, I'm $100,000 in. So I'm on the phone, because I talked to you about it. I'm on the phone with you. I'm on the phone with Troy. I'm like, yo, bro, what y'all eating, B? Y'all got y'all Rolexes and all that. What am I doing wrong, B? I'm down 100. What am I doing wrong, B? I said something. I said, you got 2 Rolex. I was watching. I was like, yo, Dave, you got 2. I still have mine. Look, I got a Rolex now. But I'm like, yo, I got an Invicta. I was still wearing Invictas, B. Y'all sitting on y'all chilling. Y'all come in laughing, smiling, and chains out and all that.
Yeah.
I was like, yo. So I'm on the phone with you, like, yo, bro, what's going on? What we doing? And so I had to go back, right? I had to destroy.
Yeah.
And I revamped. And so now I simplified things. So I'm like, oh, nope, we're not doing that no more. We're not doing this no more. And then what? Now it's profitable.
Yeah.
Right? And now because it's profitable, and I'm learning, right? I'm learning how to use my platform to make other people money.
Yeah.
Right? And so now, this person made 1.6 million. Like you know how many millions have been made, not by me. Yeah. I'm saying people that have been on my show. Yeah. You know how many millions people made?
100%.
And so now I'm like, oh, okay. There we go. And to be honest, and that's why I say, look, tap into the source. Mm-hmm. Because the source was like, nah, Ash, like abundance is your birthright. I ain't giving you access yet. Cause everything ain't right. It ain't right.
I see.
It ain't right, Ash. It ain't right. You got like I ain't changed. Like if you look at day one to how I interview now, I'm interviewing the same way. Yeah. But nah, Most High said, look, well on, brethren. Right? And so right? And so now, once I cleared the air, God said, all right, here you go. Yeah. And then people started being successful. And then, you know what I'm saying, we got to that space where I'm able to monetize it both directly and indirectly though. Yeah. Right? Because, you know, I don't want to make it seem like all of the monies that's been made is from the podcast. No, the visibility gives me access to a lot of people that like I have a book coaching program. Every single episode, I put a commercial in there. Yeah. And so I get leads from my show. Yeah. And so I have a sales team. I offer a 12-5 program and a 50K program. And my sales team, they go crazy off of the commercial that I put on my own podcast.
Okay. Speaking of the book writing thing, okay, so I'm curious now.
Yeah.
How this whole book writing process works because AI is real.
Ooh. I wrote this book in 5 hours, just to let y'all know. 5 hours.
AI vibes?
Yeah. Yep.
So
how to create a fortune as a self-published author.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Is it you or because you write a book? I wrote a book, my stories, my information, brain dump, book did well. But now that we have AI, and you wrote it with AI, am I reading AI's words?
Yeah. So the best analogy I will say is you have a lot of pictures on this wall. Mm-hmm. And you can either use a screwdriver to put the pictures up, or you could drill them in. Did you still put the pictures in?
Say it one more time.
So you have to hang up these pictures.
Yes.
And you have two tools that you could use. You could use a screwdriver to put them in, or you could drill.
Yes.
And you decide to use a drill. Does it matter? Does it matter how you put the picture up? Does it matter that you use a screwdriver or a drill? No.
In that scenario, no.
Yeah.
However, so I think I see a commercial or a meme or cartoon or something like that.
Yeah.
Lady, long hair, on a date, and she's trying to say the right words, but she has somebody in her ear coaching her to say whatever needs to be said.
Yeah.
And the person is super into that person.
Yeah.
Using someone else's words.
Yeah.
Or I got a pen pal and I'm writing this lady these words, but the words aren't for me. I have someone writing it, doing it for me.
Yeah.
In
plagiarism,
that
100%.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's not what's happening with AI though.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm not asking AI to give me the content.
Okay.
I'm giving AI the content and I'm saying make it sound better. Right? So
give me an example. Give me an example.
I give you an example with this book, right? I go to ChatGPT right now. I say, ChatGPT, give me 15 ways that I can make money from a book. It's not gonna give him my 15 ways. It don't know my 15 ways. It's gonna give me whatever's out there. right? It's gonna give you, write a book. It's gonna be so basic, right? Anybody watching, do this. Do that. Go to ChatGPT right now and say, please give me 15 ways to make money from a book. And I promise you that if you
Who got it? Somebody got it in here?
if you look at the 15 ways, it's not gonna be
words. So give me. You
right?
got it. You got it, Kay.
Tell me the 15 ways.
All right, let me
and then you go in my book and you tell me my 15 ways.
Give Kay a mic real quick. Okay. So the 15 ways are they like? Do we have it in here like a list?
There should be a section.
Monetizing your book. Okay, I got you.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to be interested in knowing the 15 ways. Kay, come sit over here real quick. We want to see you. You can sit right here. It's cool. All right, so, now Ash.
Yep.
I'm about to write a book, bro.
Yeah, and so here's the deal. The deal is that all of that is my knowledge.
Yeah.
And so all I do is I give ChatGPT the prompt. I have to give it the right prompt. I say, hey, here's my knowledge. Here's this thing. Please expound on it.
Go to that camera, please. Go for it.
Right? So I say ChatGPT, here's this information. I need you to expound on it. So now it starts to expound on what I gave it. And it's smart enough to know where I was going based on the little bit that I give it. And so now I'm teaching it. I'm feeding it the information, and it's giving me back the information based on it. So it's still my thoughts. It's still my ideas. Still what I do originally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, cool.
15 ways. ChatGPT, go.
All right. Let me see Ash's angle again real quick. All right, cool. All right, so what you got, Kay? What are the 15 ways to monetize a book?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
That's my number one.
Getting books in hand. Physical. Okay.
Yep. Number 2 is self-publishing. Same thing. That doesn't even make sense, but go ahead.
Okay.
Number 3 is print on demand.
Same thing. Physical book. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. Go ahead,
okay.
Go.
Number 4 is audiobooks.
Okay, that's my number 2.
That's number 2, okay.
Number 5 is ebooks.
That's my number 3.
Number 3.
Number 6 is translation.
What?
If your book is popular, you can consider translating it into other languages and selling it in different.
That's actually hard.
That is.
That's hard.
So I got 16 now. That's not one of mine. But thank you, ChatGPT.
Okay, keep going.
Number 7 is book clubs.
Nope, I don't have that either.
Nope.
Number 8, speaking engagement.
I have that.
Okay.
Number 9 is consulting.
I have that.
Okay.
Number 10 is courses.
I have that.
Okay. All right. I think I understand what's happening.
Right.
So it's no different than research and development for your book.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
So if I was like, yo, I want to write a book on, I don't know, best podcast practices.
Yep.
I will put it in ChatGPT.
Yep.
And it gives me a bunch of information
Yep.
where I can decipher through it and say, all right, this is good.
Absolutely.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
This is
and
my
I'll give you a prime example, right? So if you ask ChatGPT, and I don't know if they fixed it, but if you ask ChatGPT, please give me a list of self-publishing platforms, it's going to tell you CreateSpace, right? Well, any OG in the self-publishing game knows that Amazon bought CreateSpace.
Yeah.
And so if somebody doesn't know what they're talking about and they use ChatGPT and they publish a book that says CreateSpace, then it's going to be outdated. People are going to be reading wrong information. But I know what I'm talking about. So I'm going, like you said, it's like research. It's like me writing a book and I have an assistant that's helping me write the book. I say, go, assistant, please research this, research that, put this together. They're going to come back with all this information. And as the expert, though, you have to be an expert. Yeah. You cannot skimp off of that. You have to be the expert, because as the expert, I am now going to say, all right, like you said, I want this, I want that, I want that. But it happens really, really fast. This is why I wrote this book in 5 hours.
You defended that well, Ash.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of, look, I'm dropping stuff. you know, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, AI is a tool that you can use to accomplish things faster.
Right.
It would normally take me, if that's the only thing I'm focusing on, it would normally take me 2 months to finish a book from start to finish. Literally, I started this book at 9 p.m. I didn't go to sleep till about 3 in the morning, and it was done.
How long has this been out?
About January, so top of the year.
So about 5 months, maybe.
Yeah,
almost 5 months.
Yeah.
You sold a lot?
This copy, no. So, when you came in, you was like, man, when you put this book out?
Yeah, because I thought this was the one you was.
Yeah. So, Abundance is Your Birthright is the one that I've sold a lot of copies. Billboard on Times Square. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Put some respect on my name as a self-published author. You know what I'm trying to say? Like my 5th #1 bestseller, because I really focused on that.
How do you do that? How do you make it a bestseller? Is there a trick?
Yeah, so the trick is really just understanding what categories are selling, and what categories can you put your book into so that it could sell the most, right? And so what I do is any book that I put out, I'm looking at, like I don't want to compete against Simon & Schuster. So I'm not going to put my book in a category that some New York Times bestseller has the same category, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a category that is still aligned with my book, but it's not necessarily a popular category, so that way it becomes a #1 bestseller. And here's the thing: Amazon has an algorithm as well, and so as now it becomes a #1 bestseller, you definitely want to do pre-sales, because if you do pre-sales, you'll get all of those sales that like let's say if you had a pre-sale for 2 months, everybody who purchased within that first 2 months, it counts for your first week sales, right?
How though?
Because your release date isn't until they actually release it. Right. And so if let's say,
but they have to buy it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, they have to buy it on Amazon.
So you can, so let's say the book releases on Friday.
Yep.
If I make a sale on Monday.
Yep. It can't count for Monday because the book ain't out yet.
But it counts for Friday when it hits.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Right.
That's how y'all be doing it.
Exactly.
I know some people.
Look.
Because I'm not an Amazon bestseller. I am a #1 bestseller amongst my family.
Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. And so people don't realize this, right? Is now
I said that before, bestseller, right?
Author. So now what do? You get a bunch of people to buy it.
I'm sorry, is that cat, bro? Because I definitely told people I'm a best-selling author. I didn't qualify it.
No. I mean, if the numbers hit, you know what I'm saying? You're a bestseller, right? So look, so you sell all these copies pre-sold. You put it in the right category. First week comes out, and now it's a #1 bestseller, #1 new release. Now you got social proof, right? So now, unfortunately, a lot of people want to be first to be second. They don't want to be the first to support you. But when they see everybody else supporting you, they want to support you. So that #1 bestseller now, everybody's like, oh, this book is hot, this book is hot. And so now you go off of that momentum. When Amazon sees that people are buying your book, now the algorithm is actually going to recommend the book with other books in that same genre to continue to push the book to people who aren't even looking for you.
So how many pre-sales did you sell?
So I was like 2,500 pre-sales.
Dang, bro, that's a lot still.
Right, 2,500 pre-sales in a 2 month span, and then I had a billboard on Times Square, which.
So did that work? That works.
Yeah, it works because not only were people seeing my book who didn't know who I was, but again, now I have a lot of content using that billboard. Now all of my 250,000 followers are like, oh my God, he's doing big things, and they want to jump on it.
Price of the book, how much you sold the book for?
$14.99.
$15. 2,500 times $15. Light little.
Yeah, a little light.
I made this a year at my Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, light.
You
know what I'm saying?
Okay, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
So 2,500 got you to.
Yeah.
Is that like a good number? Like, is that a good number?
Yeah, I think so. Just for context, New York Times bestseller is 7,000. Right. So
7,
somebody sells 7,000, depending on the week. Let me just say that it depends because it's really about how many books you sell in a week, right? And so somebody who's like, oh, I made New York Times bestseller, you could do that with like 7,000 books. Like if you sold 7,000 books in a week's time frame, you could hit the New York Times
But
bestseller.
you did 2,500.
Yeah. And I didn't hit New York Times though. Not yet. My
What did
goal
you
is
hit?
New York Times. Amazon.
Amazon bestseller.
Yeah, New York Times is different. New York Times is, you know, your Amazon sales, your Barnes and Noble sales, it's an aggregate of all of the sales that, you know, like you have to have not a major rollout because Eric Thomas did it. I mean, he
But he had a publisher though.
Yeah.
And I think that worked out well.
Yeah. You have to have a major rollout and be omnipresent in anything books to hit New York Times.
But 7,000, I think, would y'all support me? Would you be amongst the 7,000 if I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna write a book and we're gonna go for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think that again with the relationships, like it just has to be like the rollout just has to be smooth. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And
oh no, real quick. So you asked me why I didn't sell a lot of this copy.
Yeah.
So I'm actually developing a software called Birthright. And so my attorney needed me to put this out and sell it so I could get Birthright trademark. So that's why I haven't been promoting it. I just go on like events and things of that nature, and I take pictures with it to show that I have it on commerce. So I could because you can't trademark a name without it being in commerce yet.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I didn't really promote it, because I have a software that I'm working on. It's like a ClickFunnels for authors, where I'm going to start. I'm in the process of creating it. It's called Birthright. It's going to allow people, like I'm going to preload funnels where people could get book funnels, get upsells, downsells, like all of the funnels that have made me a lot of money off of the books, doing my 15 ways, not ChatGPT 15 ways. And so I'm creating a platform that provides that, emails, CRM, text messaging, and I'm calling it Birthright, and that's why I didn't really promote this one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Have you done a book challenge or anything like that? Right? Be an author challenge, something like that?
No. So I'm talking to my team because I'm now, especially with ChatGPT, I can help people write a book in 5 days.
And then have a product where they can make some money.
Exactly. So imagine this. I do a challenge. So all of the people out there, right, who has a book idea that they've been sitting on the book forever, in 5 days, like 5 days, you join my challenge. By the end of 5 days, your book will be done.
Gotcha. But you haven't started just yet.
Not yet.
Okay,
but maybe we can start. You want to partner on it?
Yes.
We could.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think we could. Yeah. So let's talk. 5-day challenge. Write your book in 5 days, and then guess what happens?
I'm a 2-time author. Let's not get it twisted.
Right.
I am a 2-time author.
Right.
So I know a little. So yeah, I have a publishing company.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but we published a couple other people's books. So
yeah,
that's cool.
So you know what I'm saying? And then after the challenge, now we could talk about how you can make money with the 15 streams of income.
Yes. It's about time we got some money together.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Way overdue.
Yeah, it's overdue.
Way overdue.
It's overdue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One, I didn't intend to talk about your partnership issues for so long, but this was a well-rounded conversation, and I think it's important that like we really get into. So you're really into this whole AI thing, yes?
100%.
Do you guys? So every time I see an app, right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it does something amazing. I saw one yesterday where you can create content. Like I do a video.
Yeah.
And it turns me into a cartoon. I was like, oh, that's going to be hard.
Yeah,
and then I download it.
That's be dope.
And it's like $5 a week. I'm like, where does this week stuff come from?
Yeah.
Every time I see an app, it's like $5 a week. Y'all see that? Yeah, y'all are getting me.
Yeah.
You be paying for some of them?
Yeah, I do.
Word. Weekly, how much?
I didn't pay for the weekly one. I think I have a caption writer, an AI caption writer, that I pay $20 a month. But think about this. I was paying a caption writer $2,500. Right? I had
a whoa, I just caught what you said. A caption writer.
Yeah.
They write the caption for your Instagram post?
Yeah.
No way.
Facts.
How do you do it? Show me how to do it.
Yo, it's called caption writer.
Okay, I was about to say, don't say the name.
Yeah.
Get
Okay.
him no shine until.
All right,
I
so
mean, y'all
look.
got it already.
Yeah.
All right.
But look.
Caption writer.
Yeah.
Let me see this real quick. Caption writer.
Yeah.
So
And
how do you?
You just write a quick paragraph of what you want. So let's see, right? So let's talk about.
That's crazy.
Right?
I feel like some people got a cheat code because I'm like, yo, I'm looking at some people, they writing long captions. I'm like, you don't even talk like that.
Exactly. You don't even talk that way. Look, and so $20 though, right? Normally I was paying $2,500, right? So I say, so give me a caption. Like, give me what is your picture about? What is your picture? What is your video? What are you promoting?
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Let's do this.
Let me go find one that I actually posted, and let's see what I wrote.
Yep.
So I wrote a caption that said, okay, it was a picture of me and my daughter. It was really, really cute. This is my favorite picture. Y'all see that? So the only thing I could think of was, have you ever been in love?
Have you ever been in love? Right.
Yes.
And that's the whole caption?
That was the whole caption.
So have you ever been in love? I don't know. I love
keep it what I said. I want to see it. I want to see what will come up.
No, but
because I'm lazy in that too.
Right, but here's the thing: have you ever been in love? It doesn't know, right? That again, this is so AI is only going to spit out as good as your prompt.
Okay, put this.
So I need something to
do
know it's not
this.
a romantic love.
This is what I would put.
Love?
This is what I would put.
Yep.
The bond between a girl and her father.
Okay, got
is unbreakable.
Got it. That's it. That's good enough. So the bond between your daughter and her father is unbreakable.
Yes.
Okay. Unbreakable. Right? So just so you can see, I said, have you ever been in love? The bond between a daughter and a father is unbreakable. Yes. Right? So you got short, medium, long, pause. And so I'm going to go medium, right? Medium caption, generate caption. So now it's generating the caption for me. And then I could just simply copy and paste it, right? And so it's thinking because it's trying to, figure out like what it's going to do. And so give it some seconds.
This is insane.
Right? Give it some seconds. And then now it comes up. You want me to read it?
Yeah, read it. Let me read it. Okay. Let's see what golly.
There you go.
Okay. It's so beautiful to witness the bond between a father and daughter. The love between them is unconditional and unbreakable, and there's something so special between them that you can't find anywhere else. Having a supportive and loving father is a blessing, and I'm so grateful to have a dad, and I can edit that,
right,
who has been there for me through thick and thin. It's not just about hugs and kisses. So I would probably take some of this. And it got the hashtags and everything.
And if you were more specific, though, it'll give you better, because we were general.
Downloading that joint.
But if you were more specific, right? Matter of fact, if you say, "Look, I'm holding a webinar tomorrow on how to build a closer relationship with your daughter," it would say it would do that to you. It would know now that it's selling something, and it'll tell you to hit the link.
What's
in the
it called? Caption
writer.
Caption writer.
Right,
bro. You know what? One of the major reasons that I post at least once a day, right? Just once. But the thought of having to write something.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yo, I saw someone yesterday that I know is just, I'm not gonna say nothing bad about people, but I'm like, you didn't write didn't write that.
100%.
That don't sound like nothing you would say or even think of.
Facts, 100%.
And it got mad engagement. I'm like, he's cheating. He got captured.
So, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, so prior to AI, there are companies that you would pay to do it for you, right? So there were copywriters.
Is that the best one though, or are there more?
That's the one that has been good for me. There's one, Jasper.ai does social media captions as well.
You don't like that one?
No, I love it for books though. So I use that for my books. So look, here's another cheat code: is if you don't like what Chat GPT gives you, Jasper has a content improver thing where you take your paragraph, you put it in Jasper, and it gives you 3 options, and it improves your content and makes it better.
Oh wow!
And there is a plagiarism AI, so that once you finish writing the book, you throw it in there to make sure that it's original content. It's all tools. It's all tools, and if you know how to use the tool the right way, it can help you so much. So like literally, if it took me 2 months to write a book, if it took me 3 months to create the course, if it took me another month, let's say 6 months to really flesh out the whole idea of a 7-figure info kind of business, I can do that in a week. 1 week. And so now I'm spending most of my time promoting, putting content out that I don't even have to write.
That's a fact.
Right? Now I can have these captions because guess what? What if you didn't write this? What if this wasn't your caption? What if you decided to turn your video on and you said this?
So can I put a video in and it writes the caption for the video?
No. Right? But you could take the caption and then you could
say it.
Yeah, and then content. You could go to this app, teleprompter app. Look, I'm giving y'all all the game. Teleprompter app, copy and paste it, put it in your teleprompter app. Now it's looking like you reading, like now you look smart. You know what I'm trying to say? Now you reading it. Now you reading it off the camera. Now you reading it. Now you're like, it's so beautiful to witness the bond between right? And so now you're reading this off the thing, and now you have content. So all of the people who are saying that they don't know what to write, they don't have this content. No, now you can put it on video. And you can sound very articulate, very concise, and you should be dropping a video every day.
Bro, I don't know why I'm so apprehensive to invest this $20 a month. This is a poverty mindset I have right now.
Bro, I'm telling you, I was paying $2,500.
Right, let me just do it, man. I got money.
Look, $20, brother.
I'm gonna spend $20 on lunch.
Your captions are gonna be lit now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm downloading this, right? But for y'all that's listening, I'm not gonna use it. Okay, so it's my words, guys. Okay, all right, Ash, yo, I appreciate it, man.
Yes,
we got to do a part 2 all
sir.
on like book writing. We should have just kind of led with that, but I was in your business. So.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Good episode, guys. Enjoyed yourselves. Okay, all right. So, Ash, I guess take us out with a word of wisdom.
Yeah.
And let everybody know how to find you.
Yeah.
How to connect with you. How they can support you. Make sure you watch Inside the Vault.
Yes.
The
greatest money mindset show on the planet.
For sure. You're also on EYL Network.
Yes.
Okay. How's that experience been?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Right? Because the access that it gives me, being able to watch them grow at such a level that they're growing, allows, me to take who I am already and just amplify it, right? It's still work though, right? And so what I mean by that is a lot of people, it's almost like the record company, right? So like when Cash Money came out, right? Who were the rock stars? You got Nicki and you got Drake, or Young Money, right? You got Nicki, you got Drake. There were other people, no disrespect to the other people that were on the roster, but they didn't really maximize that opportunity as they could, 100%. Right? And so I'm Drake. Like I, am on the roster, but I'm still me.
Yeah.
And so I still get busy though. I still put in work. Drake still get busy. And the connection with the network, with his label, helped propel him further. And so that's what I mean by it's been excellent, is just having access to just way more people, right? Yeah. So as somebody, like I got, 250,000 followers, but between the network, it's 1 million on Instagram, it's 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So now it just pushes my content out to more people. The content still has to be good though. Gotcha.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that. Let's figure out a way to impact more people.
100%.
And really, as you were talking, bro, I just had the illest idea, and I'll just have to keep it to myself until. But we will do that challenge. Then we'll come back on here.
Yeah, we got.
We'll talk all about writing books.
Yes, sir.
But I will not do the challenge until I write a book, another one.
Yep.
So that I can.
You know what book you got to write?
The experience.
Write the podcast book.
Yeah,
have to.
That's a fact.
Actually,
I have one in the works.
Okay.
It's actually called the Morning Meetup, and I'm gonna show it to you.
Okay.
Real quick.
Okay.
So
yeah. I need a podcast king.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Because why? Because books make you the authority.
Yeah.
Right? What people don't realize is that when you have a book, it gets you into so many doors.
That's a fact.
Way more, right? So here's the deal. Think about this. And this is a true look at this. I had books forever. I've been verified forever. They didn't verify me because they verified me because if you Google my name, it says author.
Yeah.
Right? Number one. Number two, I could play in the social media space, but I lived on television. Yeah. I was on television. Why? Because television is like, man, he's the author of.
Yeah.
Right? Now, yeah, I could create my own workshops and things of that, but I'm on big stages.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was on national stages. It was because I was the author. I was an authority.
Yeah.
Right? And so think about how much television you could do about especially now, right? Especially now when you think about the economy and things that are happening and people are trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Yeah. And you come out with this way that nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about it. In our space, but our space is small compared to the world. So even though we popping, like we celebrities in our space, but that's like a microcosm. There's millions of people who have no idea who David Shands is. Yeah. There's millions of people who don't know who Ash Cash is. There's millions of people who don't know who EYL is. Right? So imagine if you start making yourself the authority outside of the space that you already live.
Yeah. Okay. Work to do. Ash Cash, I appreciate you, my brother, man.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody where to get the book from and close us out, bro.
Yeah, so you could, follow me everywhere at I Am Ash Cash. Go to IamAshCash.com. All of my books is there. My podcast, everything is available there. Last words to everybody: abundance is your birthright. You can be, do, or have anything that you put your mind to, but you have to first understand who you are. Stop being in the business of trying to figure out what to do and just find out who you are naturally and be that every single day of your life. When you start to become who you were meant to become, then you can do and have anything. And it's not that you have to work hard for abundance. Abundance is already yours. You just have to allow it. Right now, you are blocking your abundance. You're blocking it with your limited thinking. You're blocking it with, being around the wrong people. You're blocking it because you watch the news every day and you're allowing the news to put you in fear. You're blocking it because you have not paid for a coach or a mentor or somebody who's successful who could show you the way. So get out the way. Be successful. Be who you were meant to be and access the abundance that's already yours.
Can't close it out no better than that, man. Make sure you follow my brother Ash Cash, man. Support all that he's doing, but also go get you some social proof, meaning go build something. Build it really, really big, but you have to come back to your community and teach them how you did it because it's the only way our community grows, okay? We are out of here. Like, subscribe. Peace. If you like the video that you just watched, click this one. You're going to like this one, maybe even more. Click it right now.